How about that back to school, huh?
Oh yeah, the kids are back
They
in
have
town to
places
school.
to go, and those places are not on Twitch.
That's correct. Me and Wooly were just talking, we're just chatting. I was like, "What happened to the views this week?" It's like, "Oh,
Motherfuckers
the
are learning.
chitlins have gone back to learn
They be learning.
to wear their goddamn masks." That's what they learn now.
Also, that would explain why some of the things going viral are like teachers being like, "Man, fuck homework."
Yeah.
You see that?
As long as that's all that goes viral, am I right? Am I?
Yeah.
Hey,
No, there's this video of a teacher basically being like, "Hey, students have shit to do. Some of them work. Some of them like cook for siblings. Some of them are like doing all kinds of stuff and having lives. So I don't like giving homework because I want them to be kids. And then the most the thing that emulates real life is you come to school like a job. You do the work there, and then you leave it behind you."
yeah.
Which I thought was pretty interesting.
But
Because
Wooly, most jobs now want you to take your work home.
yes,
Think
I
about it.
but I'm just thinking like um I saw that video, and I was immediately reminded of the teachers I have that almost got into physical fistfights with kids for not doing their homework, and I can't comprehend the two existing, because like I grew up in a world where like I had there was a fucking lady. We had my grade 6 teacher, Miss I'm not going to fucking blow names
Miss
up.
whatever.
But a story's always better when you put a name behind it. Um let's just call her Miss Sheila. That's not her name, but she would get so close to your face when she yelled at you that like not only were you bathing in spit particles, but it was that volume that would hurt your ears right up in your face type of thing. And like by any metric nowadays, that would have been fucking abusive. Like
Nuh-uh,
absolutely
no
a no
bad to
go.
do.
But she just didn't give a fuck, and she clearly had been around too long. She'd been through the ringer. She hates her job, but she's gonna ride it out till her
She hates the
corpse.
kids.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna ride it out till her corpse is found correcting one
Yeah.
day.
Hmm.
And for all we know, there's a dead man switch connected to the fucking school, so that she could light it all on fire when she goes. But like,
Hmm.
yeah, she would watch people come in, and like I remember when my friend Cedric literally had a dog eat his homework. There was a crazy ass dog that lived near us, and it chased him, and it actually fucked his bag up, and it ripped the fuck out of like some shit that fell out. And
Hmm.
he's like, "This is gonna be hilarious, dude." But I literally had a dog eat my homework, and we brought it in, and like he had like the parts of the ripped thing, and like she just fucking lost it because she thought this was an elaborate prank, which
I mean,
again,
like I've got Puppy Geef here, and he was like, Paige was teaching him tricks, and he was eating the dog manual.
yeah.
Like dogs eat paper.
No, the punchline was not lost on us of this being a moment that's pretty funny that actually happened, but attempting to pull that up and run with it led to her just fucking like just banshee shrieking, you know. And she does that thing too where like if she's correcting your test and she's disappointed in it, not even if you failed necessarily, but if you get lower than she expected you to, she would just throw it on the floor. She would literally just correct it and then just toss it away from her
For
sight.
those of you listening to the audio version at home, that prompted a big old eyebrow raise of
Yeah.
really?
And it's like, come get your, and she wants to say shit, but she's not going to say it. She'll just be like, come get
What a
your test,
motivator.
you know? And yeah, that class was the one you didn't want to get, grade 6.
Building memories forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, I think back And I had two teachers that had that were sticklers for homework, and they had like a good reason. One was my favorite English teacher of all time. I hope she's still alive. She's, the teacher that's like a horrible old cranky gremlin woman, but good. Like they're just tired. They're not mean to you, but like if the kid is sassing them, they will sarcastically snap back at them.
Every horrible old gremlin teacher has been like witch adjacent.
Oh, that's terrible.
I've never had a nice one.
Oh, well, okay. This one was relatively nice. And then the other was one of my math teachers was like a really like he worked out all the time. He was like a weird Chad math teacher.
Oh yeah, we had
and
those.
They were obsessed with homework for two reasons. English teacher was, we're gonna sit in the class and talk about the book. You had to read it. If you didn't read it, that conversation about the book is gonna be fucking terrible, and you're gonna look stupid when I ask you about it. And that worked, because she would ask you about it. Hey, what did you think of this character? And you'd go, the title, like, oh, I thought it was really deep when right? And math teacher was even simpler. It was grade 10 math, and it was the hard math, and it was like, listen, if you don't do your homework, you won't understand this shit. You will fail the test. You need to do this shit because it's complicated. And then people went, fuck you. And then they all failed the fucking first test.
There you go. Yeah.
And then he went, see, I told you. He like gloated. He was like, I fucking told you. If you don't do this shit, you won't understand. This trigonometry is weird.
We had like a couple of bro teachers. Basically, there was like a faction of these like super buff like Greek dudes that were like teachers, and they're all Mr. Greek last name, you know.
Mr. Papadopoulos.
Mr. Papadopoulos. There was a name that's super close to that we had.
Yeah.
And they would basically it was hilarious because like they would basically have the same thing that they'd have the same thing going on where chest showing a little bit of fuzz coming out.
The curl.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Orthodox crucifix underneath it. And they were for the most part pretty chill, and they'd teach with all the hand gestures and get all into it, and that was the, they would explode every once in a while, but those were the more chill ones. The ladies, the older ladies we had, both in elementary and in high school actually, were the worst ones, and I want to say like there was like one or two nice like younger lady teachers, but in elementary we had the Miss S, the one that fucking just banshee shrieked at you. In high school we had an English teacher who literally had the drawer with the conspicuous bottle in it, the nondescript fluid that stayed in the bottle.
That was my typing teacher in high school. And I look back and I think, so that her bottle wasn't conspicuous. It was vodka. It was like she'd sip on it. And the thing that always got me is that it was a typing class in like 2001 where typing was actually the new hot shit because computers.
Yeah.
But she was teaching a typewriter typing class.
Okay.
So like the irrelevancy was just off the chart.
Drive is gone. I just like once you saw it, I remember the fucking trouble kids in class pointed it out, right? And then when she left, we saw it in the drawer and we went, holy fuck, there it is right there. And from that moment, you're not paying attention to anything the moment she looks down at her drawer. Every time she kind of looks at it, every time she kind of pulls it a little bit, you just kind of are like, is this it? Is this gonna happen? And somehow she never got in trouble for it, but fuck me, that was there for years.
Wait, whoa. I don't mean to call you naive, Wooly, but what do you mean somehow she never got in trouble for it? Like, there needs to be somebody teaching that class. We can have a drunk or an empty chair. Like,
tenure, man. Tenure. Yeah. Tenure is fucking powerful. Can't stop it.
like, I think back, and I might have told this story before, but I can't tell the difference between what I've said out loud in my head on my stream or here. But I once had an elementary school teacher that showed off like the power of positive reinforcement, because like rewarding people is more better than punishing them. Works for dogs, works for people. First day of class, after lunch for the the second half of the day, the 1 to 3 part, she brought in her beautiful golden retriever named Einstein, and she sat him down and let all the kids come up and pet him. This was like grade 4 or 5, right? And he was like, "Oh my God, nice doggy." Everybody's so happy, etc. And she goes, "Okay, everybody, I'm going to have one pop quiz at least every single week. And if the class average is over 80, you don't have to do your final Friday period at all.
Wow.
We'll just go outside and I'll bring the dog in and we can play with the dog." And would you look at that? That average went the fuck up. It even got the smart kids to help the stupid kids with their homework.
There you go.
And they didn't usually get along because, like, if you don't fucking do well on this test, I don't get my Friday off.
Look at that. It's almost like those methods work. It's almost like it's an incentive.
There was a downside, however. On the days where it didn't go up, blame could be easily ascertained by looking at everyone's test scores. Oh.
Sure.
Oh, what's that? What's that, Sarah? You're the reason it was your test that pushed us underneath the percentile? Thanks a lot, dumbass.
Welcome to communism, class. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Those are nice stories. All I'm remembering is the physical confrontation that two dude teachers got into with each other that as it escalated, it got to a point where one teacher was basically like, please touch me so I can sue the shit out of you, as they were in each other's faces kind of thing. And to later find out that might have been the argument, that like it wasn't clear what was going on, might have been because they were both pretty close to some students and they both might have known things about each other that were not fucking legal. And they were having a big ol' I'm not saying nothing, but I'm having a fucking square off with you and we're not going to say much, but we know the problem here. And I'm like, dear God, that's fucking, whoa. That was happening at my school. Okay.
I remember in elementary
shit you only find out in
school,
retrospect.
You ever had that music teacher that goes from class to class and does the music thing?
Not from class to class. We used to go to the auditorium.
Okay, so we had a guy who came, he was like a slot-in period. I'm talking elementary school. And there was one kid, let's call him Jimmy, that, man, he just fucking was such an asshole to this teacher. Just, like, treated him like a substitute, but, like, literally every day of the year. And it was the same teacher, and music class was one of those things that got slotted in at my elementary school, so you'd have it, like, throughout. And I remember talking with some kids. I'm like, do you think that Mr. whatever the fuck is going to lose his temper one day and, like, just kill him? And, like, no, of course not. Until one day he totally lost his temper and threw a bunch of shit across the room and knocked that kid out of his fucking chair.
Jesus.
And
wow.
Then kept teaching.
Yeah. Tenure.
He threw
Tenure,
like a one of those big fat textbooks.
Yep.
And just like brained him and knocked him out of his chair.
Oh yeah.
And the part of the story that gets confusing, because your child memory is not super reliable, but nothing happened. Like nothing happened. Like kid got back in his seat and took his lump, and we all laughed at him, and no one was on his side. Even if we didn't really like the teacher all that much, we're like, you've been an asshole to him for like 4 years.
It was the style at the time.
I don't even know if it escalated past that classroom.
The room itself.
Like it had ever got out.
Because everyone's like, nah, that's about right. Yeah. We had a chill history teacher that pinkied the bottom of a desk and just launched it, not in anyone's direction, but those things have happened.
I had a teacher come in because we were making too much noise, and he came in from the other classroom. He said, "You guys are gonna shut up," and like a kid from the back like laughed, and then he grabbed like a meter stick and slammed it on the desk, and it exploded into a million shards of shrapnel and flew into the. It's like, "You kids are gonna shut up." Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. No, man, we had some shit. Battle of the Kamoshitas is what was going down in our hallways. And there was the time that one of said bro teachers as he was leaving to get into his shiny BMW, he saw something going on. He saw some hooded figures on the roof with what appeared to be guns, and he came running back into the school to figure out what the fuck's going on, and basically raced to the office and then headed up to the roof where me and my friends were filming the finale of our Metal Gear fan film.
Oh, of course you were.
And our last boss in his big long trench coat with our big fake guns were on the roof shooting our shit. And we thankfully we got that cleared through the drama department. But shout outs to us showing that movie in the auditorium for everybody. And at one point when an explosive goes off and there's fire along the wall behind the character, and the principal's like, "Hey, that's amazing special effects, you guys. Wow, you really went all out with this." And we're like, "Right, we totally didn't just rub rubber cement on the wall and light it the fuck on fire."
Yeah, that's a special effect right there.
Totally.
CG.
Nailed it. It's great.
I had a physics teacher that was cool, except for the fact that, like, how do I put this? All right, hey kids, you're going to learn about inertia today, which is a property of physics. It's the tendency of things to stay at rest. Friction is a blah, 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 right? What's a good hands-on way to teach inertia? Well, my car is snowed in the school parking lot right now. So why don't we all go outside for a hands-on demonstration of inertia?
Amazing.
All right, so you see how the car doesn't want to move. That's why you're going to really have to really push it. Now you see now that it's moving, its inertia has lowered, so it's easier to get the rest of the way.
Nice.
He also possibly was that irresponsible physics professor who kids would come in with their ideas and he would go, "That seems cool," which seemed to stop the day that Greg came in with homemade napalm. And the days of "that seems cool, do it" as the standard advice stopped.
Yeah, I see these videos every now and then that get posted where someone's like filming a little like 5 seconds of their bio class, and like It's like, check it out. This super confident chemistry teacher or bio teacher is going to light the floor on fire. And everyone's bags and feet are on the ground, and the flame will just fade out right as it touches everything because it's A-okay. But
And you're like,
what, you're just like, okay, these if you've been doing it for years, I believe you. But
this is a trick I do every year. Just freaks the kids out.
Little sus. Something, not that, whatever. Anyway, I know my bio teachers that we had there, he was a good guy. He's the kind of guy that would forget shit all the time. He'd make mistakes.
Yeah.
He'd fuck things up. There's no guarantee that you're not setting that classroom on fire, showing off one of those experiments. We never had one of those crazy things.
Man, we talked a lot about goofy things. There's a certain appeal to a teacher, or at this point in your life, it's adult authority figure, but a teacher who is calm and pleasant, and you would even say placid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Losing their shit because of the fucking the variation.
Mm-hmm.
My chemistry teacher, she was such a sweet lady. She was like 80. She was from Spain. She had a thick Spanish accent, but she had that, like, those old people that have like an aristocracy kind of like lilts their voice. She's a very classy lady.
Sure.
Right? Never raised her voice. Never, just very sweet. Right up until the day that we're like 6-7 months into the year, we're almost done, and two of the dumb kids they're thirsty, so they walk over to the eye wash station and fill up a beaker with water and start drinking out of it.
Yeah.
Which she sees and starts to lose her mind, like I didn't think was capable of this woman.
Oh my God.
It is literally the only thing you have to not do in the chemistry lab is don't drink out of the beakers. Because they're running, like, I know for a fact the grade above us was running experiments with, like, alkali metals.
Absolutely.
Which will kill you if you ingest them. And, like,
fucking poisons. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I told you about the body. I told you about the corpse.
Remind me about the body.
One day outside, people are in the yard, as you do. You run outside, you frolic, you do your lunch timing and your recesses and so on. And then, oh, look at that. Someone found a corpse in the bushes.
This is a new story. I don't remember.
No, I've definitely brought it up. A body has been discovered.
Oh, cool.
And you report that in, and then the office says, everyone go home. Go the fuck home. Just leave. Take your shit, get out. By the way, this has nothing to do with any of us. We don't know anything about this. This is not a student. We don't know. We don't know nothing. And then the doubling down the next day, just letting all students know there's no need to spread any misinformation about the incidents of yesterday. It appeared that a homeless man just fell asleep and passed out forever in the bushes, and that's all. So,
and you look over at your friend and you're like, I don't know, man. Are you sure you want to take over the inn when your mom passes away?
I mean, straight up, either that or wait for the fucking Danganronpa class trial. But
yeah,
you go right to, like, the school goes right into full-on defense mode of, please do not tell your parents that
don't
a
know
student
who that
was,
is.
Like that just had
don't know how they got there. Coincidence.
Yep. So, good times.
School feels like a different planet.
I mean, it is. It's a different structure of like day-to-day life, and you know no other until that point in time.
And it sucks because you know what, like they did the research that when you're a teenager, your capacity for your emotional threshold is actually much weaker than when you're an adult. Like things, when like you're 13 and your girlfriend that you went out on one date with breaks up with you and it's the end of the world.
It's the end of the world. Yeah,
it is actually the end of the world. It actually literally feels the equivalent of like getting a cancer diagnosis as an adult.
Well, yeah, because because like the graph is still measuring on a scale from 1 to 10, and we're currently measuring on scales of hundreds.
Yeah,
it hasn't zoomed out enough yet.
But like to any of the if there's anyone listening to this who can hear us that is within the school system, probably the high school system, oh my God, does none of that shit matter at all? Holy shit. The only thing you take with you is the damage. I won't even say like the lessons. Just the damage.
The damage, and like, yeah, I was gonna say possibly the quirks and fetishes, but that's all damage too. So
yeah, it's all damage.
Yeah. You're gonna take it. Everything involuntary.
You're a loner. You watch Evangelion when you're like 10. Crap. Now you're into bitchy redheads your whole life. What are you gonna do?
But yeah, the scale, it has not, the graph has not zoomed out yet, so that your painful moment, that high school breakup, that registers currently at a 9 out of 10. You don't realize that upon receiving that diploma and stepping foot outside, that 10 actually becomes a 100.
Oh my God, dude! You know what this reminds me of? My absolute favorite sentence that I heard in high school from, like, I want to say 40 different teachers. When you're in university, they're not going to let you get away with that shit.
Yo, okay. No. So, the tweet
oh my God, dude.
The tweet
Holy
is,
shit.
When you're in college / university, that shit's not going to fly. And then,
my God.
that shit in college, and then the emoji of a bat, an angel, a bird, a plane, a rocket ship, a boomerang.
Like you have to know how to do it in your head because they won't let you use a calculator in university. And I got to SageUp and they're like, "Can I use a calculator?" Like, no shit, you have to use one, dumbass. I don't give a fuck.
Every single fucking flying emoji, just in a row. That shit in college.
Do you remember being told that if you didn't know how to write cursive with a pen, they wouldn't take your work in college? They just wouldn't even look at it. They're not going to look at it with a pencil. You got to use a pen.
I've talked about this before, but I'm all fucked up with that, actually, because I only learned cursive. Wait,
how's that even literally possible?
Because I skipped grade 1.
Okay, but I mean, you know what the letters look like now as an adult.
Yes, now, yes. But in the school system, I went right to cursive in grade 2, because grade 1 was when we were supposed to learn the basic print, which never fucking happened. And that was that led to my handwriting being super fucked for a long time. I learned cursive before regular handwriting, which I had to teach myself. The other thing too, of course, is
hey Woolie, I'm gonna drag it way out, and everybody at home listening to the audio version, feel free to go and take a look at this yourself on the internet. Have you ever seen Russian cursive writing?
Oh my God.
Have you seen it?
Madness. Yes, I have.
I just sent it to you.
I've seen it.
Oh my God. What is
Russian
this?
cursive is the dumbest. It's wild.
This feels like a goof.
No, but it's also equally fucking fascinating that the brain can work in a way that determines that can actually figure that out. You can decode that.
I can't decode that.
That it is unbelievable. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, cursive. I spent an entire grade 3 learning how to write cursive, only to grow up into the era in which writing cursive is harmful to you.
Well, I don't even. I think I was having the discussion not too long ago about, like, do they even teach cursive anymore? Like, is it still a part of the curriculum in any way?
I don't know, man. They teach.
It feels like it has no
maths.
purpose anymore. Like,
I don't know.
outside of signing a
teach
check
typing
or
That's
a signature.
What they should teach.
Yeah, of course. That's what replaces it. Yeah, cursive is definitely some antiquated shit.
They should teach tippity tap like this.
And the other thing I was gonna say is a lot of the that crazy desk throwing, ruler breaking, yelling shit is definitely skewed in a fucked way for me because school in Grenada is, if you fuck up, you're getting hit.
Oh.
So
you don't have to have all this weird other shit.
Corporal punishment.
Straight to the beatdown.
Yeah. And every teacher had their ruler, and the ruler gave you licks. And if you got sent to the principal's office, she got out her principal's ruler, which is a ruler that's basically just like, it's the thickness of like not a 2x4, but it's like a 1x2. It's just a plank of wood, and it was not smoothed out. And it was like, the main reason to go to the principal's office is because the principal has the fat ruler, and she's about to fucking lay it in.
They have a bigger office. They have more room to swing.
They do. It was, too big, too clumsy to be called a ruler. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I only had to feel it once, but I did feel it.
So the system works.
The system worked. How about that? That's the fucking Grenadian way, So then I came back here to, again, like, crazy tempers and yelling and shit, and again, like, all that disrespect, but it never escalated to the physical point. So hey, at least you're not getting hit.
Until the day where you're the one who takes the lumps for the teacher's whole life,
for the entire career. Yeah, well, somebody's gonna get one, as we've established, and if you happen to be the unlucky one, then yes, the justice of a 30-year career is carried out. The limit break has been flashing for 30 fucking years. You better believe it's gonna do some damage. And they're not fucking up the side prompts either. They're timing every one of those extra hits for maximum crit. But I think the takeaway lesson that you were getting at is that once you get out of school, that none of that shit matters because the enemies in real life scale with your level.
That's correct.
They're always proportional.
Oh no, society at large. Oh, come on.
Scales with you.
Big.
Scales with you. No matter how big you get.
Well, what if you got really big?
There's always going to be someone bigger.
What if you just became physically large?
I think it's not the kind of game that lets you pull an Earthbound where you just walk over enemies and they pop open, Or you jump on and pull their mask off, show me your true form, pop. Doesn't work that way. Everything is scaling. I think I do appreciate the energy that college teachers have, where it's kind of just like, I had a passion for this subject, but I didn't want to be a babysitter.
Yeah.
You know, they sometimes have
You're
that.
not here.
And
I don't give a fuck. You're wasting your money. Okay, whatever. Moving on.
yeah, I do that. That feels very practical to me, and that feels like the fact that the teacher doesn't give a shit whether or not you give a shit, because they're like, I'm gonna do my thing anyway. It's your life, buddy. Was
The only
much more
thing I got
effective on
from
me.
them was like, hey, I see that some of you who haven't been here, you're wasting your money. You're not getting a good education. You're not gonna learn this shit. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. This is a required class. It is not one of my electives. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, not to knock the patience of the saints on those who do have to be put into babysitting ages, but like for me, nothing was more of a motivator than the teacher going, "Whatever, dude, it's your life." You know, people fucking come and go all the time, man. Like you're another score to me. You know, you're another grade. It is what it is.
And I said to that guy, I said, listen, I'm gonna do this macroeconomics test and I'm gonna pass it. And I'm not gonna keep a single goddamn piece of information in my head, you old bastard. So I'm gonna just skip this class, hope Woolie showed up with the PS2 today, and go look for an empty classroom so we could play fucking Third Strike.
Cultural geography.
Oh, Woolie didn't show up. He showed up the whole day late at the end of the day with the PS2 today. What the hell? Now I skipped macroeconomics for nothing.
Cultural geography. That's what it was. Shoutouts to the classrooms that had the TV in the corner and the pull-down projectors.
Yeah, man. And no one was ever in them for some reason.
Not even once. Not even once.
We had once people walk in when we were leaving at the end of the day, and I don't think they were students. I think they were also, well, they were students, but I don't think they were there for a class. I think they were also there to do bullshit in that classroom.
I want to say that at least once a janitor walked in and went, "Oh, hey, let me know when you're done." Or just kind of looked in and went, "Well, whatever."
Yeah,
and
I think that
out.
happened. That seems about right.
There's definitely been like the walk in and meh, you know. So, yeah.